Yeah, hello. How's it going? We are live. Time to do number 94. And it's gonna be you. You are gonna decide. What will we do today? Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, I think yesterday's was pretty okay. Even though I had a shitty like internal image of what to paint. I found that yesterday's was turned out okay anyways. It wasn't really what I wanted, but oh, and I finished another sketchbook. Yet another one done. Another A4 finished, and I'm almost finished with ink only sketchbook, even though they are quite rushed. They are Inktober sketchbook, only Inktober, I think, for 2 years, 3 years. 2 years, that's almost finished. And I think this one is almost finished too. Man, I've been actually sketching quite a lot lately. Yeah, this is almost done too. Nah, this has like a third left. Hey, Atski, Captain Boss, Dr. Sheldon, Bjorn, how's it going? Oh, Captain Boss. So what should I draw today? Give me a topic. Hey, Bruno Romanos, that number 6. Looks good. Hey, Zalin, how's it going? Man, it snowed so much all night. Woke up to like maybe that much snow everywhere. It's nice. Skeleton Countess. That's pretty cool. You don't give topic anymore, Captain Boss? Oh, how? Why not? But that's okay. That's okay, Captain Boss, if you don't want to. Hey, Sharsa, Quentin. How's it going? I lose too often. Well, you gotta win at least once, Captain Boss. Alien Farmer, Crazy Doctor. That's some interesting topics. So we got Skeleton Countess, Alien Farmer, Crazy Doctor, Giant Spider. Oh, Giant Spider. That's pretty cool. Luckbringer. Oh. Today I will do light only, I think. I feel like light only technique. Luckbringer. Alright, I think we're good to go. So let's see. As per usual, it's not this one, but this one. Number 2. Which is Alien Farmer. Yeah, by Bjorn. Cool. Alien Farmer by Bjorn. Hey Kliska, how's it going? Welcome. Good morning or good night. I don't know which part of the world you're in. Man, I need a haircut. I have to wait like another almost 2 weeks. The beard is I don't cut my beard. I pay people to cut my beard. Hey, Weeping Jay, how's it going? I'm good, thanks. All right. Alien farmer, alien farmer, alien farmer. We could be farming humans. It could be a cute picture. It could be a fun. It could be scary. Alien farmer. I have one picture, but not sure I like it. I have two, but they're very similar. Alien farmer. Okay, I'm gonna do another version of my initial idea. Yeah, exactly. So I was going like, okay, what do they farm? And as like crystals, do they like incubate crystals? What does a farmer farm? And I kept going to like the Matrix in my mind. You know, like, oh, they farm humans, the robots. But I thought, like, I can't do that. That's just gonna be, you know, what you would assume would be. And I kept wanting to come up with something new or interesting. And as I'm kind of pressed on time, I kind of bastardized the idea of human farming of Matrix into an alien farming humans, but not mechanical alien, but more of like a jellyfish. Weeping Jay. Alien cows. Yeah, that would be funny. Even the aliens, that's why they steal cows, right, with those tractor beams from the mothership. You always see the floating cow, right, because of they're being what's it called in English? Abducted. There we go. So they take them like seeds and make cow trees. We're onto them. You can't fool me. Eric, yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, the amount of energy a human body produces is so minimal. It's better to like have connect a potato to cables, and you'll get the same output. And the amount of energy having to put into a human to produce that shitty output of electricity is so wasteful. But you know, it's a movie idea, right? It's not based on reality. Potato genes, yeah. But interestingly, like potatoes do generate electricity. You can connect potatoes and get the output. Well, I don't think they generate. I think they oh, well, probably some technical term about what they do. Be it absorbing or transmuting, or I don't know. Hey, a voodoo breakfast. How's it going? Glad to see you here. Welcome. Oh, that me singing horribly made me think about. You're here on time. Yeah, that's great. Made me think about what gaming console intro do you associate with childhood? Like for me, a huge feeling of childhood is well, first of all, the flickering of a 8-bit NES from 0 power to power, and when the cartridge doesn't read, there is this flashing. Tick, 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 tick. That is a big childhood thing, but also the PlayStation 1, this build-up tune is also a little bit more like more teens, but still. PlayStation 1, and then the Cube, Nintendo Cube, whatever noise it is. That for me is also childhood. PS2 for you. Oh, yeah, PS2. That means you're younger, way younger. Hey Amir, how's it going? Also, the load page of Commodore 64 tapes, that kind of mint screen with orange text of it loading the library from the cartridge. Ricky, Commodore, yeah, man. And Amiga, yeah, the Amiga. I don't remember Amiga. Yeah, Amiga had that kind of white frame, and then it loaded the table, right, with white text. And they had some weird dashboard as well at some point, but that's what was newer Amigas, not the old one. But yeah, those. Did Nintendo 8-bit? Did they have a load screen? I don't think they did. I think it went straight to cartridge. Right? They always had presentation on the cartridge, not the console itself. 8-bit. And Super Nintendo had a intro, right? And Sega had Sega. Oh man, I remember that. That was good. Or you couldn't hear really. It was just like noises. And like, oh yeah, they're saying Sega. Monkey Island. Oh man, that's such a funny game. Did you ever play Day of the Tentacle? No, Day of the Tentacle is a completely separate game. I don't even think it's the same developers. Day of the Tentacle was like a click and play adventure, much like Monkey Island, but it was with like time traveling hamsters and tentacles that want to take over the world, like megalomaniac tentacles and time traveling teens. They're trying to solve the world. It's a really, it was one of my like hallmark experiences after on PC. Amir Levy, yeah, on I think you got it for free on PlayStation Plus membership, like half a year ago, I think. I have it. But I also bought it. I bought it, and then the following month it was like on all. You got it for free. But either way, I played it again. It's a good classic game with some really messed up puzzles you need to solve. It's like, oh, I had no idea you had to use this item on this thing to make it work. SSX, yeah, that was a good game. That was the snowboard game, right? Crash Bandicoot. Yeah. I remember. I remember Crash Bandicoot. It was a good game. But that was PlayStation 1, wasn't it? SSX as well. I remember SSX. If I remember correctly, it's the snowboard game. It being like, wow, it looks so good. And you did all those crazy tricks. If that's the right. That is the Dark Souls of its time. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. Crash Bandicoot. Oh man, I had so many rage quits in that game. Screaming at the controller. Alright, Captain Boss. Thank you for joining. Have a great day. And I will give you some feedback on your hero card. Ricky, yo, CGA graphics. That's like Leisure Suit Larry 1. That was CGA. Food or breakfast. You know, Driver, who said it? Atsuki, Driver on PlayStation 1, for me, was the best driving experience I've ever had in a game. They nailed the sensation of drifting and maneuvering and physics. I remember it just being like spot on. Then they released Driver 2 and it was like, no. What are you doing? Don't do the stupid things. You can step out of the car? Are you insane? No. Go back, redo, but franchise died. Xialin, yeah, exactly. Exactly. That driving test. That was good. It was supreme. Yeah, Driver 76. Yeah, it was a bit try hard. But Driver on PlayStation 1, man, the sensation of drifting and like downshifting in curves and the handling, and it was like a muscle car, American muscle car. That just was, yeah, they nailed it back then. For me, it's like that's will forever be the perfect feeling of driving a car. But I'm quite sure, like, if I would go back and drive it now, it would be like horrible. But at the time, I must say, Driver had they nailed it. They really managed to capture the essence. On PlayStation 1, if they had a steering wheel, I don't think it was for PlayStation 1. I think there was for PC. But I mean, I don't think you could buy the peripheral for PlayStation 1 with steering wheel. Iglesias Miguel. Nothing like Mario Kart. Well, Mario Kart was good. You had great control of the character, and it was really responsive and all that. But the sensation of driving wasn't as good. I mean, you felt momentum and you felt control and you felt in Mario Kart like the power of the curves. That was really good. Like you felt momentum, but the sensation of driving and the physicality of the Mario Kart is not as good as it was on Driver. As I remember it, obviously. But nostalgia is, is our greatest enemy. A voodoo breakfast. Yeah, I mean, all of those things came later. I'm quite sure. For PC, definitely at that time there was, but for PlayStation 1, I don't think they ever released, or at the end of the lifetime, they released a steering wheel for the PlayStation. But it was for PC, I know that much. I think steering wheel for PC came really, really early. Voodoo breakfast. Yeah, man. Yeah. What was that space sim called? Commander? Starwing Commander? Is that what it was called? With like recorded real actors acting out the storyline, and then you're flying some sort of spaceship. You're an arrow key type of guy. Yeah. Man, gaming has come a long way. I mean, I was around at the birth of gaming consoles. Like, before there was nothing. Then console came, and then life changed completely. I remember there was no like console. You can play games at home. You don't go to an arcade and play games. There's other things than pinball. What? Yeah, it was crazy those days when it came. It's revolutionary. Granted, there was like Commodore and so on, but there was like CGA graphics, four color palettes. Fire Nation. I remember when the games had CGA graphics, and there was just like four colors, or you could have the VGA, which was what, 16? There was one up like that 16 or 32 colors. You're like, what? They have shadows in this game, and the shadows just being one value down of the local color. and there was, straight up big fat chunky pixels, and the sounds didn't come from a sound card. They came from, on old PCs, there's something called a tweeter, which was an inbuilt error messaging speaker on the motherboard. And now in Windows, when you make a mistake, you get the chime in the headphones or in the sound from the sound card. Ding! Like when you click something wrong or there's a error message. But that sound, that chime, came from the tweeter on the motherboard, and it was like, and when they made games, they used that tweeter to have sound effects. Back in the days, when I was a child, we didn't have sound cards. Bjorn amazed me with graphics. It was a few of the 8-bit games on Nintendo. I think was like, what? If we don't count arcade, or an arcade was clearly miles ahead of 8-bit. But you didn't have access to it at home. But I remember one of them later on was a game on Super Nintendo called Super Metroid. I remember back then was like, what the fuck? This game is amazing. I was so impressed by Super Metroid. And I mean, looking back at it now, it's still a good looking game. Like, great palette, great animations for being on a 16-bit game. All just amazing quality for the time. There's always on each console like a game that I remember a lot from, because like it was amazing. One of them being Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1. That one was like, oh, this looks so good, and the game is so massive, and gameplay is, like super impressed. Killer Instinct on that was on was that on Super Nintendo? I think it was on Super Nintendo, right? Oh, Iglesias, yeah. Prince of Persia's animation was crazy. I remember. Oh, the arcade one, right? Yeah, I mean the arcade one. Obviously, they had way more hardware power, so they could have bigger sprites and more memory and so on. So naturally, it would probably a better engine too, because they could have a big old machine. Oh, the original Doom. Man, yeah. I mean, a Voodoo Breakfast. That means you're like 20. Am I right? "22. Just a baby. Just a baby." I remember a guy in school. Obviously, as a kid, you're like light years ahead of the teachers when it comes to technology in school. And he taught me something I didn't know at the time, and that was the ASCII shortcut for spacebar. ASCII is the numeric tablet of all points and symbols, and you can reach them by holding down Alt or Alt GR, and then on the numpad you type like 158. That's maybe the copyright sign. Like 255 is the space bar. But so in old school, like when you're in the prompt, you have to type manually to kind of navigate through the directory of the computer, right? So one command is CD, and CD is short for change directory, right? And so you type CD space, and then the directory when you're in the right tree to go to that folder, and then you get access to the folder, and then you can view what's inside the folder, but you can't navigate there unless, you know, if you mistype the directory, you can't access it because you have written a directory that doesn't exist. So he showed me he had installed Doom on the school computers, and he had hidden it in Windows. So you had to load the computer in the prompt, which you just hold down a key, and then write CD space. So if you hit space, you wouldn't go to the folder. You had to hold down the key and write the ASCII code for spacebar, and then you would access the game. So he's like, yeah, I've installed this on almost all computers in school, and they can't remove it because they can't access it because they don't know the ASCII code for spacebar, and they can't delete it. They can't write delete space. You know, there's nothing. You know. So whenever the teacher was not looking, we would deathmatch Doom. Or was it? Yeah, I think it was Doom. Yeah, it was Doom, and we were like, and then, so no normal kid knew it, obviously, because you know no one cared. No one was such a big gaming nerd like me and that guy. But yeah, but we sat and played Doom in school on the hidden in hidden directories. Maybe I don't think it was Quake. I think it was Doom. Because I remember maybe we didn't play against each other. Maybe we just played it. Because I remember those brown kind of wolf-looking things that were shooting the fireballs, and they are not in Quake. And Quake, you had to have a 486 with a math processor. It was a minimum, and the school did not have a 486 with math processor back then. They had like 286, 25 hertz. Definitely not math processor in those computers. Worms. Worms was a great game. I loved Worms. Oh, that doesn't look good. I played Worms a lot. Also, before that time, I played a game called Stunt Driver, which had VGA graphics, like 16 colors. But you could go on like loops and... Oh shit, time is up. Here I am, just talking shit about video games. And time is up. And I have done a horrible drawing. I kind of like that. It's a horrible drawing. It's a really bad drawing. Too much talking. Too little time of drawing. Too busy talking shit. Anyways. Hey Dan Animated, welcome to the end. There's still 30 minutes left. No man. But I do love video games. It's a great thing. And it's fun to be a part of the whole journey. From start to where it is now. And I'm excited to see what's the next step. What happens if you put the image upside down? Makes it even weirder. I kind of like it. Kind of like it weird like this. I like it like this. Makes you go, huh? What am I looking at? But also no. Anyways, let's raid. Oh. What's Joe doing? He's starting something from scratch. Cool. Let's raid Joe. He usually plays great music. He's a great guy. And extremely skilled. Have a great day. It was so much fun. Great chat. See you guys tomorrow morning. Good night. Right. As per usual, I'm going to do the outro, then I'm going to switch us over to his channel. So click ready for the raid. Bye everyone. You guys are the best.